Well, joining us from Dhaka is Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus. He's also chairman of the Yunus Centre, which is one of the groups spearheading the People's Vaccine Alliance. Great to have you with us on the News Hour, sir. This is a sobering reminder of inequality and how poorer people are often last in line. What exactly is your group calling for to change this situation? Because it is a complex one, isn't it?
Well, we're trying to draw attention that it's not as complex as it's made it out. What we hear, what you've been telling us in the report, it's a shocking thing that's happening. The whole pandemic has put the entire world's population in an ocean of disease, that COVID-19. But we are drowning. And now some people produce the lifeboats. Now they are saying that the lifeboats only available to the highest bidder. This is the situation now. Who can get the lifeboat? They have plenty of lifeboats. That's not the issue. And we could create our own lifeboat if they had tell us how to make those lifeboats. We are not asking for the free dosages to come. We want to produce it ourselves, every country that we have. So this is the thing that it's a whole question is about people versus profit. That's the whole issue. It's a life versus profit. In the situation, when you give this lifeboat to people to survive, or you want to negotiate how much they can pay so that you can give the lifeboat. We are saying that it should be declared as a common good, as a global common good, so that there is no patent right over it. If we remove the patent right, then this can be produced all over the world. It doesn't have to be produced in one place, in a very expensive place, and then get into this question of people versus the profit and the super profit and so on. So this is a life. Whether you want to save life or you want to take this as an occasion to make money for some people.
Well, the pharmaceutical companies would argue that they have spent billions on research and development, and they just can't give away their intellectual property. Otherwise, they won't recoup costs. They won't be able to afford to develop the next vaccine for the next pandemic. Do you think that's a fair argument?
Yeah, it's a very fair argument. That's what we told in our appeal, that we'll pay everything it cost them. Most of it's public money, so they didn't have to pay anything on that part. And some, yes, they have paid. We said we'll pay you for the patent right. We are not saying you give it free. It's a negotiation. You show us how much it costs. So all we are saying that you're taking advantage of the situation. People are drowning, and you control the lifeboat. That's the situation that we are saying. You make it a public common good. We pay you everything that it cost you. Then we'll produce it wherever we want. This wherever is needed. You're not dependent on something. Share your know-how. This is the time to share things with people, not control and say, you negotiate. If you want to survive, you have to negotiate with me. That's a wrong message.
Absolutely, but that message has been given out since the start of the pandemic. Arguably, the UN has been calling for countries to work together for months now in order to blunt the impact of the pandemic, and we haven't seen any willingness to cooperate thus far. In terms of, are you expecting the pharmaceutical companies to comply? I don't want to say comply with your demands, but to hand over some of these IP rights, or are you worried that they might think that this would set a dangerous precedent, perhaps, for future medicines and future vaccinations that could be developed?
This is not only dangerous precedents, as you call it. It is again against the precedents. The precedents is like polio vaccine, like when Jonas Salk, the inventor of the vaccine, he declared this is a people's vaccine. This is like a sunshine. Nobody can profit on the sunshine. So this should belong to all people. So there is a tradition like the HIV/AIDS vaccine. They became free goods too, the patent-free goods too. So this is a tradition. Now they're violating the tradition. They are coming back as a fight between how much they can extract with this life that they are endangered on this. And human being already is an endangered species because of the global warming. Now you're endangering it for another direction. How much can we take? This is a time to reflect whether life is something to be exchanged for money or not. This is some occasion where you don't go for the profit making. You share things so that people can be survived. So we're only saying that you make it a public good so that there is no patent right, there's no intellectual property right, so that people can be producing it. And you should be helping this procedure rather than controlling it, negotiating it. Who is the best, highest bidder? And then rich countries buying up several times more than they needed, 5 times more, 3 times more, as many population they have. In the meantime, the poorer countries don't have any access to anything. And what I'm afraid of, this will create a vast market for fake vaccines. Now that the vaccines are not available to large number of people, 90% of the people are still not connected with the vaccine, or there's no chance. And during next year, they will get connected. In the meantime, there'll be tremendous amount of pressure to come up, opportunities to come up with fake vaccines and destroy people's life another way. Not only you're not getting the vaccine, you're now getting the wrong vaccine and kill yourself.
It's a very compelling argument. Thank you so much, Muhammad Yunus, for making that argument here on Al Jazeera. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for inviting me.